Okay, hello, Lord of the Rings trading card collectors, gamers, or anybody that is curious about this really well designed trading card game from the early 2000s that rolled out with the original movies. Um, I was 10 when Fellowship came out and started collecting these cards, and it was so complicated to learn the game that me and my friends just kind of made up our own rules, where we had a good guy deck and a bad guy deck, and we kind of just went to war. But lately, I was shopping for Pokemon cards on eBay and stumbled upon what I have over here, which is about 1,300 just heavily played bulk. Like, they look like, they were used in a lot of games. Um, and I just finished sorting through them, and it was only about $70 to buy this box. And once I sorted through it, I was looking forward to building some decks and getting right into playing. And then I realized there wasn't even enough cards to have one proper game. It was either, okay, we're missing the sights, or we're missing, we don't have enough rings. So then I ended up going out and buying singles to plug in the holes. Before I really knew it was a bad idea. Well, I won't say it's a bad idea, but it's not the best strategy if you're looking for foils. I did go out and buy a couple packs and open them. And I just want to show you the things I got out of there first. So this was the first Lord of the Rings trading card game pack that I opened since probably 2003. So 21 years went by, and I opened this one the other day, and the pull in that was a Band of Wild Men foil. It's a common, but it's a really cool card. And I didn't think much of it, but the pull rates on foils are so low that the odds of getting ordering one pack in the mail that comes out of a box of 36, where there's only 4 to 6 packs with foils in them, that was really lucky. And then, believe me or not, the next pack I got was a Fellowship pack, and we got another foil. So I'm 2 for 2 with foils. We got Midgewater Marshes, that's an uncommon, and it's a cool location to have if you're not playing with hobbits, or too many hobbits. You obviously need one. Before we get in to opening the box here, I do just want to show you, I already have a couple rares from this set. None of these are like fresh pull binder copies, and I think that's what I'm really looking for in here, so that these can just be play cards. But these are all rares from the set that I have sleeved up in varying degrees of condition, and I want to hopefully pull one of each of these so these can go into some decks. And of course, if any of these came out in foils, that would be a really good pull. So we got Gandalf's staff. This has saved my butt in a lot of games online. The feature being able to exert Gandalf twice to cancel a skirmish involving him. Gandalf's vitality is usually 4, so you add a 1 to that, which means you can cancel 2 skirmishes. You could cancel, especially if you're going up against an overpowered Nazgul deck and someone puts out a fierce minion that you just can't beat. Gandalf can go out there, exert himself 4 times, go down to 1 health, but cancel both the skirmish and the fierce skirmish. So I use that in every deck that Gandalf's in. And then we have Mithril Coat. Bearer must be Frodo. There's a couple good features of this card. The minion archery total is -1. Each minion skirmishing Frodo does not gain strength bonuses from weapons and loses all damage bonuses. So that's another game saver. If Frodo's about to be overwhelmed, well, there's no damage bonus, so that's a big feature. But the weapons don't count, so it automatically takes down those pumps and can get you to over half. Then we have Watcher in the Water. You don't see this one come up a lot in online games. It's just because it's hard to put down. It's discarded if it's not in a marsh, much like the Balrog is discarded if not underground. There's only so many marsh sites you're going to run into, but there is, if you want to build a deck around him, there are cards that can turn other sites into marshes. So there is some value in that. And if you like this creature, it is fun when it comes up. Then we got this little scamp here, Bill Fernie. I don't really remember him from the movies. I don't like this guy. He was probably just a background actor getting paid $200 a day. In that one quick scene, never had any lines, as far as I can remember. Maybe in the extended version, or a deleted scene. But now he's just memorialized as this man who helps Nazgul guide the way and make sure they're not roaming. So he comes up in almost every Nazgul deck that I play against, and he frustrates me every time. For some reason, he also can't go underground, which is interesting. Why not? And then this one's in rough shape, guys. This would be probably a PSA 1. Skipped one. I have the whip, but I have a Balrog. He came with the bulk lot. He's a little dusty. I'll take him out. He's the one I'm gonna play with. There's some, you see the corners there. Not a PSA 1, that was dramatic. PSA 4? I don't know. I've never sent anything to PSA yet, but this is the rare Balrog. There is an uncommon or a common one in there, but this is the special one. And if you get that in a foil, I think it's pretty near one of the most expensive cards you can get. I am sort of new to the hobby, so if I do say anything that isn't true, please correct me in the comments, because I don't want to spread misinformation. But this is the primary objective right now, is to get one of him in a foil in this box. So the story of this box, this comes from a really reputable collector. He has an eBay store. His eBay store is called LOTR_cards. And the guy behind the store, he ordered this as something he intended to keep as a sealed product. When it went through customs at the border into Canada, they ripped it apart to look for drugs or whatever. So it was no longer of much value to him, and he ended up giving me a great deal, knowing that I wanted to rip something open anyway. So yeah, I mean, I never planned to be a YouTuber. I don't know what this channel's gonna become, but it's a it's a dead trading card game. Aside from the Players Council that keeps it alive online, it's not in production anymore. And I think it's just such a well-designed game. Just trying to be careful to not cut the box, get through this tape. It's such a well-designed, fun game. And there's not a lot of content about it online. And I think that everybody that plays this game knows that it's not the easiest thing to find other players, especially if you want to play in person, which is my preferred way because it's so cool. It's so dramatic with the glass beads as the damage counters and the black beads as the burdens, and just seeing it all laid out on a table just gives you a very different feeling than using Gemp. Although Gemp is amazing and I'm truly addicted to it. Okay, just taking a sip of water. It's been 21 years since I opened a pack of these cards. I think there's a pop-up. Yep. I remember going into the card store and seeing these for the first time. I think I was shopping for Pokemon cards. And, you know, we were kind of bamboozled by Pokemon at the time because, you know, we were told there was only 150 of them, and then when the second generation came out, we thought, oh my god, that's pretty cool. But the third time they did it, me and my friends were kind of like, well, where does it end, you know? And we decided to boycott Pokemon. Partially because these cards distracted us so much from Pokemon. This is all we cared about, even though we didn't really know how to play with them. It was kind of like, you know, like people back in the day used to collect like film cells, right? And this is like collecting film cells from the greatest movies of all time and going to war with them. And it's blew my mind as a kid. The game has blown my mind in the past 3 weeks since learning how to play it the right way. Just gonna pull them all out. Oh my god, there's a lot of them. And the box was heavy too. Maybe I won't pull them all out. Oh, that's a bad idea. We're gonna put them back in the box and we're just gonna open them one by one. So here we go. Thanks for your patience listening to me rant. Could have just started the video right away, but I wanted to give you a little backstory. I think there's a pack trick with these. I'm not sure what it is. Pack trick just so the last card you reveal would be the foil. So if I did it right, and there is a foil, it would be this card right here. But if I did it wrong, oh well. Okay, so we have our first card, Fury of Blows, common. Orc Taskmaster. Location, Valley of the Silver Lode. I'm gonna, you know what? Trying to pronounce some of these is gonna be a challenge. We got Helpless, that's our first uncommon. So I might not try on some of them. Some of them are also long-winded. Long titles. Shield of Boromir is our rare. Means I didn't do the pack trick right, but that's a great rare to pull. And I think that's what would have been the foil. I could be wrong. Common. Common. Every deck needs a Frodo. Common. Goblin Spearman. Goblin Man. This is a weird little card. Look at this little Goblin Man. Discard this minion if underground. He doesn't want the smoke. He's not going into the Mines of Moria. Exert this minion to look at the Free People's player's hand. Which, you know, that can help. Okay, so we have our first rare from the pack. I'm just going to stack the ones over here. I'm going to put that in a sleeve because it's going to be a binder copy, I think. And yeah, I'm going to put these out of the way and just start stacking the rares as they come in over here so you can remember what we've been up to. Let's try 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 from the back. See if that does the trick. Pippin, Mr. Took, Fool of a Took, Filbert Bolger, another background actor who is forever a part of this now. Big Bad Hugin. Don't know much about you. Speak Friend and Enter. Eagle Afoot. Wizard Storm. That's a great card. Ulair Enquia. And this is where you get into trouble against Nazgul decks because he's going to win most skirmishes he goes into. And every time he does, he can then exert to wound the ring bear once or twice if you spot 5 burdens. Yeah, he gets me into trouble sometimes. There's the rare. Orcbane. Spot Sting or Glamdring and exert its bearer X times to wound X orcs or Uruk-hai. That's a great little card. I definitely don't keep a Sting in my deck because I keep a Glamdring in there instead, and I usually start with Gandalf, so I never really thought about that card, but that could come in handy. Oh, wow. What the heck? What a pack 2. We get the same rare we got from pack 1, except we get it in a foil, and that's a beautiful foil. Wow. Okay. Well, that's lucky. I don't know what to say. I'm not one of those big, expressive, like, kind of guys. Like, if I pull something crazy, like, the table's not going to shake or nothing, I'm pretty calm. But that warrants a big reaction. This is about as big as I'll get here, but, I mean, we'll see if we pull the Balrog. Trying to be so gentle with this one because I don't know what, like, I'm not really in this hobby for the money. Oh my god, I'm trying to put 2 cards in at once. Watch me get great pulls and ruin them just by poor planning. There was another card behind there. Okay. We gotta go. We got 34 more packs to open. 2 Shield of Boromirs. Maybe I won't. Yeah, we'll do this. And then rares can go there. You know what? I'll sleeve up regular rares after the fact, because we'll be here all day if I try to. Foil rares, I'm gonna take a second and put those in a sleeve. So what is the pack trick? I'm bad at math, and that's why I can't play Blitz, because I time out because I'm trying to do finger counting math. So I think I'm gonna try 4 to see if that's it. Goblin Scrabbler. Mary. Foul Tentacle. Each Nazgul is strength -4. I've never seen this card before, but that looks valuable. I mean, as far as game equity goes, that's a great little mechanic there. Man, I hate the Nazgul. They're so scary. There's a rare. Lurtz's Sword. Lurtz is such a big dog. And there's a common. Oh, hi. Common. Huh. That is a scary man right there. I was 10 years old when I seen him murder Boromir. And that really stuck with me, you know? I remember covering my eyes when he was on screen. He is a big, bad monster. That's the thing about Lord of the Rings. Like, you're fighting an army of monsters. So scary. I mean, that basic premise sounds like a horror movie to me. J.R.R. Tolkien really said, you know, what if there's a magic ring you put on to become invisible? And every time you do it, the devil can see you, but you're safe. But you can't do it too much or else he'll get you. That's a horror movie to me. No pack trick. Let's just go. Let's speed this up. Wielder of the Flame. Another Twilight Nazgul, uncommon. There's, wow. Oh my god. Not a foil, but wow. That's a binder copy. That is, oh my god. That didn't take long. You know, I think they wanted, I don't think they wanted to make this card too rare, because playing the game and getting to Site 5 and being able to lay this down and like live out the movie like that, like that's such a, once you do that a couple times, you're hooked, right? It's I think it's important that people get to play with this card. They don't, you know, that's, look at the flames coming out of the frame. That is so cool. Okay, that has to go in a sleeve right away. just in case. You never know. I mean, I'm more so collecting, like, my intention is to put all of these cards in a binder and just have the whole set just sort of as a little picture book, like, and an archive for the hobby. I don't expect them to be worth a whole hell of a lot of money. But you never know. Like, new movies coming out, whether you think that's a good idea or not, there could be some sort of revival. It seems like there's more people playing online than ever, so you never know. Okay, that is the fourth pack, and we're off to a great start. I mean, I think I got a box of these for Christmas in 2002. And I don't remember what I pulled, but I mean, this is pretty cool. Hobbiton Woods. This is a great card to throw down on your Frodo. You can really save the day if he's up against a Nazgul. I've never seen that card before either. There's a lot to discover still. It's there's been a lot of sets made, and yeah, it feels like a never ending. Like, I'm really just getting comfortable with Fellowship block. Town Center. That's a nice card. I love Gandalf's cart. I'm not sure if that's in this set or not, but I would love to pull Gandalf's cart. Goblin Flanker. So what was the rare there? I don't remember a rare. Did we skip past it? Oh, of course. Yeah, this is powerful. This makes sense that it would be a rare. The game the game of it all makes that worth a rare. That's an important card. That was pack 5. We're already at 28 minutes. Jeez. I thought this would take a half hour max. I did do a lot of talking. It wants to be found. This pack's a wallop for Nazgul decks. That's an important card. Another Hobbiton Woods. Huge Tentacle. That's the rare. So we'll put that over there. Oh my god. What the hell's going on? It's an uncommon, but that is a beautiful foil. And it's an interesting card as far as gameplay goes, too. I mean, this is just... This scene, You Shall Not Pass, is... I think that's the quintessential image of certainly the Fellowship of the Ring, but perhaps even maybe the whole series. Like, as far as the average person goes, I mean, you think of this scene, right? I'm so happy to have that in a foil. That's no complaints here. This is great. This is great. Just wow. Okay. I'll be extra careful with the foils. Wow, I love that. I love that, you know, every card, I think at least in the first 10 sets, has a foil option, you know, as opposed to like Pokemon and stuff where, you know, your holographics are limited to specific cards that you can pull. Everybody has favorite cards, you know, everybody has different ways they want to build decks, so any cards you like you can find in a foil. I don't know if that continued after movie block, but I will fact check that. Okay, another Balrog scene. Wound an ally. That's good. Okay. Wizard staff. Urukai are not roaming. Whoa. Okay. What the hell, guys? So that's the common. That's the one that they want everyone to have. The thing about this one is he costs less to put out, and you don't have to spot a Moria Orc to play him. So this one doesn't have that additional shadow feature like this guy does. But I mean, they're both pretty awesome. Wow. Okay. Balrog. So what was the rare here? I will get faster this as I go. Oh, this one. Beyond the Height of Men. So there's the rare. Nomir Ranger. Gondor will see it done. There's the rare. Discard a minion. You gotta discard a staff, but you get to discard a minion. That I could save Gandalf. That's a great card, and that's the rare. You see, I keep saying that's the rare. It's because you see it down here in the card code. Rare. R for rare. C for common, U for uncommon, P for promo. There's others. This guy. Another one of him. Goblin Pursuer. That is an ugly, ugly goblin. Hand Axe. Gandalf's Wisdom. Southern Spies. Okay, I'm gonna start stacking these because I'm losing a lot of table space quickly. It's funny because I don't have a lot to measure this to. So as I'm opening them, it's possible cooler things are happening than I realize. I might be underestimating some cards. I might be overestimating others. It's hard to find good data about the value of these cards because they're so seldomly sold. Bilbo. That's a great rare. When you can spot 2 burdens or 2 wounds, that's an easy thing to do. On the Ring Bearer, this minion is fierce and damage +1. Put him over here in the rare pile. This is the Sam that is designed to just kind of sacrifice himself if needed. Defender +1. Oh. Couple commons that I dropped. Easiest to open from the bottom. I love the locations. This cinematography. It's just an opportunity for them to show off how beautifully these movies were shot. I just think they're the greatest movies of all time, and yeah, I think it was a good creative choice to not use, original artwork and use just shots from the movie. There's Gloin. Wow. Gloin's the big dog in the Dwarf Kingdom. Gimli's dad, right? That's a great rare to pull. Can never have enough Frodos. don't remember him. Another background actor got $200 for the day. If you want to learn how to play the game, I recommend checking out the Players Council. And you can find some good videos online on YouTube about how to use Gemp. It's just so fun. It'd be nice to see more people in the waiting room, because you can't always find a game. Certain times a day you can. Certain times a day you wouldn't expect, just because it's a global thing. There we go, Mithril Coat. We have a binder copy of this now. That's great. This guy always has a headache. He is the Psyduck of Middle-earth. Town Center. Love that card. I do have Town Center in a foil, but it's heavily played. Heavily. Great Chasm. That's good for someone that has an Archer deck. Moria Archer deck, not a good guy Archer deck. Vile Blade, that keeps coming up a lot. Wizard Staff. Orc Scope. Numenor. Holland. Another one. That's great. Everybody should have a Balrog. What was the rare this time? Oh, this elf event. Let's see what the fuss is about this elf event. Exert an elf ally to discard a condition or two conditions if you spot an orc. Yeah, that's conditions can destroy your game. That's a great card if you have elf allies in your deck. I'm gonna put that with the rares. This is crazy. This is an out-of-body experience. A whole box. The nostalgia of this, it's just crazy to me. I think we just, like, this really, like, I was obsessed with Pokemon cards through the, 1999 to 2001, and then these just blew my mind. Like, I never even, like, looked at the Gen 3 Pokemon sets. Like, I didn't even know who Mudkip was until, like, 2018. And it's all thanks to Moria Archer Troop and the boys that just I found so compelling. And still do. I wish I had saved my old collection. There we go. There's a Gandalf staff. That has a misprint on it. Just like the other Gandalf staff I have. Maybe they all do. I don't know. You can see that the print on Gandalf's name didn't come through very well, but whatever. It's a great deck card. Psyduck. Filbert Balger. Hugin. Another town center. I think we got all the... Well, not all of them. There's going to be 2 to 4 more foils in the box. We did get a couple of the big ones out of the way early, so there might be a lull in the action here, but stick around if you'd like, because you never know. There's still a lot of packs in there. I gave up counting. There's too much to consider. Let's see. I'm trying to hold them so they don't throw too much shadow on the card. But oh my goodness. Well, there's our rare, the Witch King. Oh wow. The Witch King is, I mean, he's just the king. Exert, no. Each time the Witch King wins a skirmish, you may exert him to wound the ring bearer twice. Yeah, that, and yeah, you see him at Site 9 a lot, and he's what ruins your game. I'd like to be on the other side of that for once. Another Balrog common. Goblin Bowman. Town Center. Town Center is kind of the theme of this box. I mean, aside from Boromir's Shield. And then the 2 that I dropped. Okay. A lot of dwarf stuff in here, obviously. The Mines of Moria. I think the Mines of Moria is just such a cool part of the movie. Let the ring bearer decide. You know, they were going to go over the mountain, and then the storm hit. And then Gandalf, you know, he knew what was down there. That's, you know, so much like the game. That's what the movie hinges upon, just like every movie, I suppose. But, you know, decisions like that. Town Center again. Foul Tentacle. Missed the rare again. Oh, it's this dwarf event. Let's see what all the fuss is about. Exert a dwarf to make an opponent draw 2 cards. That player then chooses to either discard 2 shadow cards from hand or skip his or her next shadow phase. That is a loaded card. Definitely wouldn't put that in a blitz deck. See, timeout, just reading it. Okay. Bilbo. So scary when he screamed at the start of the movie. That rattled me. There we go. One of the Balrog's weapons. That is so sick. And, I mean, helm, shield, or armor. So, if you're the Balrog and you're skirmishing an Aragorn who has a armor on him that prevents him from taking any damage bonuses. You could exert the Balrog, get rid of his armor, and then hit him with the damage +1. So that's a great rare. And the rest are commons. Stuff we've seen a lot of. Goblin Man. Never seen him online. Nobody gives a crap about Goblin Man. Foul Things. Hobbiton Party Fields. There's the boy. Bill Fernie. Swarthy, sneering fellow. Buy your copy of him. That's nice. Erland. Goblin Pursuer. Frore. Orc's Goat. Bill Fernie, that was the pull. Happy with that. I'd like to hear more about that character. Maybe he. It's been a long time since I read the books. Maybe he pops up in the books. Oh, he must. There's a quote. There's a quote from a book on the bottom of this card, like most cards have, either the book or the movie. As for Fernie, he would sell anything to anybody or make mischief for amusement. See, that's got main character energy. Let's do a Mandalorian style series about Mr. Bill Fernie. There's the rare. Epic scene. Arwen just unleashes hell on those bad guys, and that's another quintessential image from the film. Is that a foil? Yeah, it is a foil, isn't it? That's interesting. Some foils are more foily than others. As you can see, it's the cups and the candle, and then some border work. That's an interesting one. Oh my god, what the hell? A double foil? I didn't even know that was possible. That's kind of cool. I'm not complaining about that. Wow. Sam. This card's got some damage to it. I mean, these are 21, 22 years old. It's just a bad pack. It looks like a little bit of... I'll let you guys decide what that is. Have you guys seen that on cards before? Oh well. They're the commons though. The other ones look good to me. I'm gonna sleeve them up. 2 foils in 1 pack. I didn't know that was a thing. That's wonderful. I'm so impressed with this box so far. I'm you know, I didn't go in with high expectations. I just thought it would be fun to open all these and have more tools in the toolbox for deck building. But just since this is my favorite set, I thought that would be a great way to start. Well, you know, collecting for a binder. And then yeah, the other foil, we'll sleeve that up, and we'll keep trucking along. Put the Balrog at the top of the rare pile so I can reserve this space for foils. We're probably, I mean, it's possible we won't get another one, which would be fine. That, you know, I would still call this a win. But there could be 2 more, maybe 3 more if the double foil pack was an error or some kind. I don't know. See, there's not, like, when you're opening Pokemon cards, you know what to expect, right? There's a lot less data on these things. That is a good card to give Gimli a little extra vitality because he can exert to pump himself up. I know some of you watching might just be collectors. There's the rare, who don't really care too much about the functionality of these cards, but the game is so cool. I wouldn't be collecting these if the game wasn't so fun. So if you are a collector that doesn't play, I'm gonna say try it. Cave Troll's Chain, that's another cool little toy for Moria decks, but not everybody puts trolls in their Moria decks because they're hard to get down, and it's even harder to get an item for your troll down because it just kind of clogs up your hand. And then you usually end up discarding it if you do have it. A lot of people use the Archer Swarm strategy. There's some good cards that can really pump up the archery total, like this one. Well, you can spot another archer, add 1 to the minion archery total. So if you had him and him both down, they're both archers, so that's 2, and that's spotting him to make it 3. So that's a good function. Okay. So the Troll's Chain was the rare from that pack. And we'll just stack it under our Balrog with the other rares. I mean, we're getting 36 rares out of this pack, at least. I think that's exciting. 366 extra cards I'll have. Like, it seems like a good value. I paid about $265 for the box. Canadian. I am in I was going to say Canada. I'm not in Canada. I'm in Canada, specifically Nova Scotia. Hence the sailboat tattoo that you're probably all sick of looking at. So it was about $265 Canadian. Don't remember what that costs in American, and I'm not so good at math. That's why I can't play Blitz. But someone can do, if they're curious enough, they can do the currency exchange. And there's another rare. Plays to your support area. Exert a dwarf companion and discard the top 3 cards from your draw deck to discard either a shadow condition from a dwarf or a weather condition. Might not come up a lot, but someone might throw that in a dwarf deck. Could come in handy, especially if you're up against Nazgul. Oh wait, that's the rare. Gotta put the rare with the rares. Goblin flankers. Old differences. Speak friend and enter. Great work's begun there. Orc Scout. Gandalf's Wisdom. As you can see, we have quite the stack of commons and uncommons piling up. And then our smaller rare stack is right here. We'll go through that at the end. Do a little summary. Great Chasm. There's a rare. To play, exert 2 hobbits. Plays to your support area. The twilight cost of each search card and each tracker is +2. Okay. I don't know. Sorry, I keep dropping them. Yeah, I don't know. I guess that's for someone playing a choke deck. A choke deck is when your objective is to just spend as little twilight as possible so that your enemy can't really get you. And it's kind of just a way to sneak through the game and play a little more defensively, not many double moves, just doing what you can to reduce the in-game currency that is the central mechanic of this game that makes it so complicated and involved and interesting compared to other trading card games. I think that's the element of this that stands out to me, is that the Free People's player spends twilight to grow their fellowship, move their fellowship, power up their fellowship, and in doing that, it's like the Eye of Sauron is watching and seeing his enemy move, and the twilight exchange allows for the shadow player to have a proportional response. So the players kind of dictate the speed of the game, and I just think that's one of the things that makes it so unique. Hobbiton Party Field, Flaming Brand, must have. That's a great rare. That's going to help when you're fighting Nazgul. And it may be born in addition to one other hand weapon, so you could have 2 of these down, because it's not a unique possession. Or you could have this in conjunction with Aragorn's sword or a Boromir's sword. Really happy with that rare. That's a great one to play with. When you do play Fellowship Block, you're probably going to run into at least one Nazgul, but sometimes you get these guys that just have full Nazgul deck with Bill, of course, and they just smoke you. Goblin Man. Oh, Goblin Man. What a weird side profile. And that's just makeup. That's a guy under there. That's not a mask. Wow. The Saruman orcs are really fun to play with, especially when you get into towers, because that's when the wargs come out, the warg riders. It is fun to win the game with a big swarm of warg riders. Doesn't happen a lot. They are a little bit expensive to get them out and get them mounted. But it's fun. There's a rare. That's pretty cool. If you're playing dwarfs, discard the top 3 cards from your draw deck to make the dwarf strength +1. Limit 3. So it sounds like you could discard 9 cards to pump up a dwarf 3 times. And if you are underground, you could make him cause more damage too. That's a great rare. No complaints there. Be nice to get a character rare. But that's okay. Goblin Man. Psyduck. Seen a few Hollands before. Great Chasm. Scary Place. Felt like a video game. There we go. That is a big stack of cards. Trouble Mountains, Dear Friends, Foul Things, Wraith World, that's the rare. Spot a Twilight Nazgul and the Ring Bearer wearing the One Ring to add 3 burdens. So that's a, yeah, that would be something I would put in a deck if I was playing with Nazgul. Dark Places. Another Frodo. Goblin Man. Fury of Blows. And the Taskmaster. The Moria culture orcs, I've played against them and they've just kicked my ass with archery, but it was in movie block. I think that they started to gain power in the Return of the King block. I think that's when they did the most damage. They also have some cool trolls in that set. Let's see. Archer Commander is the rare. I love it. I love this. Love this crazy guy. Each other archer is strength +2. I have him in the Moria deck I use. Big fan of Archer Commander. Unique minions. You can only have one out at a time, but you can play him 4 times through the games, just not in the same shadow phase. Filibert. Oh, it's Filibert, not Filbert. Goblin Pursuer. Lots of hand axe. You can throw these, which is cool. Discard the weapon to make their fellowship archery total +1. I just love how the card text and the game function of every card, it just makes sense. Like, yeah, Gimli can biff his weapon, but he doesn't get it back unless you play another one down. There we go. Okay, I can see the white cardboard at the bottom now. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 packs left. I'll stack them like that so you can see the countdown. 1 hour and 12 minutes. Oh my god. Hopefully, I certainly don't expect anybody to sit and watch this with their full attention. I've watched a lot of card opening videos just in the background while I'm playing Gemp or I'm sorting through my collection, and it's nice background noise. Because you so rarely are you, unless you're in a bigger city with a community, but it's so rare that anybody in person wants to talk about these cards. So when I'm feeling excited about this hobby, I throw on somebody else that's excited about this hobby on YouTube and float that in the background, and it's cool. Let's see if we can get just a couple more, 1 or 2 more foils. There's a great rare. Exert the Witch King to discard a tail or weapon. It's an event, so I don't see this pop up in games a lot. I think it's because just it's contingent on you having the Witch King out on the field and having any vitality for him to exert, because you can't exert someone to death. And whether or not tails and weapons are a part of your opponent's strategy, you don't really know. So it might not even come up. That's the thing, you never know what you're preparing against. So it's like some people try to focus on one thing and do it really well, and others try to have a bigger deck that gives them options to kind of fight through any scenario. And I think when you do have a bigger deck, like, it's important to have ways to shrink it down. Like, I love using pipeweeds, because you can you can throw down a long bottom leaf and lets you discard 2 cards from your hand. So if you got some stuff in there that is not wrong, maybe you have some Gandalf possessions in your hand, but Gandalf is already in the dead pile. So it's a quick way to get down to a smaller amount of cards, so your reconcile phase can be more fruitful. I like to use Old Toby as another pipeweed. Throw that down. Every time you do it, you have the option to draw a card. There's the Goblin Scimitar that does that too. A lot of people use that in conjunction with the, I can't remember the name of it, but the condition card that lets you add Twilight each time you play a goblin weapon. It's just, there's so much to consider. Like, if you are new to Gemp and you want to, there's a rare Tower Assassin. Exert Tower Assassin to wound an ally. 11 strength. 4 Twilight for an 11 strength monster, man. That's not a bad deal. What I was saying was, if you want to learn how to play Gemp, well, if you want to learn how to play this game on Gemp, there are lots of people that are just happy to see the community grow. I'm still new to the community, so it's weird for me to comment on the community too much, but from what I've seen in you know, participating the last couple weeks here and having the history of playing when I was a kid, it just seems like a bunch of people that are so excited when someone else gets excited about this. So they're happy to help, and in your game note there, when you're setting up a table, you can just type in that, you know, you're a new player. You can set the speed to glacial if you want, and just say, like, you know, there's a lot of times during the day when there's more people, there's not a lot of games, and I think it's, you know, it's easy to find someone that would have the patience to walk you through it. Hey, maybe that's me. I'll eat my words. If you want to play Gemp, get in contact with me, and I'll teach you as best as I can. I'm still a beginner, but I've been winning a lot lately with this one particular deck, and I think I have a really good understanding of it. So I'd be happy to talk someone through it, because it is a little, at first it is a little hard to navigate, but you get the hang of it. I am so happy to be drawing the Balrog and all his weapons. I know we got the whip earlier, and now we have the sword. That's so, as if he wasn't scary enough. Now he's fully loaded. Big Bad Sam. What a great set. What a great part of the movie, Mines of Moria. Not all of these shots are from the mines, obviously, because you need to have some other cultures represented. Going into the rare stack, which is piling up. We are getting close to the finish line here. Trouble Mountains. Endurance of Dwarfs. Another dwarf rare, Beneath the Mountains. Placed to your support area, discard the top 3 cards from your draw deck to play a dwarf weapon from your discard pile. That's not a bad idea. I've never really played with a dwarf deck, but oh boy, when I do, that you want to have them all weaponed up. So why not? Okay, that wasn't the most, that wasn't the fanciest pack we had, but they all can't be a winner. I am already really happy with this haul. There we go. We got a nice binder copy now. Water in the Watcher. Watcher in the Water, of course. Love that. Oh, wow. Oh my god, that is cool. Just the choices they made on where to put the foil. Right on the axe itself and the belt buckle. Yeah, that's a nice one. Okay, I'm gonna sleeve that one up. If you really like the dwarf culture, you probably want to start here with this set. Similar to the Mines of Moria, you know, the Moria orcs and goblins and the Balrog and the troll, like any of that. If that's, you know, I think that I don't know who said it, but another Lord of the Rings trading card game guy was like, one of the things he said was, you know, don't just try to play with the best deck available, because you can find deck lists that are preloaded on Gemp, and it's like, you know, it's not as fun when you just go on and select, you know, the world champion tournament winners deck and go nuts with it. It's fun to design and customize your own deck based on, you know, what characters and what cultures speak to you, and trying to find a way to make it work, because it's a well-designed game that, you know, there's enough variables where, you know, you can take any group of characters and build a strong deck around them. I've been beaten by guys that just run to the end with hobbits alone and just kind of choke you out and have the allies there. The Bounder, especially. Darkfire. Hobbiton Woods. That's another. Yeah, I don't want to spend too much time talking about Hobbiton Woods, but I think that's just another great example about how the functionality of this card is it's plot, it's movie plot, it's lore, it's you know, exert a hobbit to play your site 2, replacing opponent's site if necessary. That's just because the hobbits know their way around this woods, and if they're willing to put in that extra exertion, then they can find the way to site 2, which, you know, might be a really favorable thing for you, if depending on what your site 2 is and how necessary that is to finding cards or choking or whatever kind of strategy you're playing. So there's a rare Merchant from Dale. Jarnsmead. To play spot Gandalf. Each time you play a shield, armor, helm, or hand weapon, Twilight cost is -1. I don't see him pop up. Maybe there's just better options for guys to sit at home 3 and do stuff, but I mean, it's a cool card. There's just there's only so much real estate in your deck, unless you want to play with 100 cards like some guys do. You know, you got to be really, really careful with those decisions, and I don't know about that one. Okay. Another common Balrog. Mr. Took. That is so cool. I really, really thought Gandalf was died. I spent a whole year of my formative years thinking Gandalf was dead. And then the towers, then the 9/11 happened. It was a bad year. Gandalf was dead. The World Trade Center collapsed. And then December came along. Lord of the Rings always makes me feel like Christmas time for some reason. Because, well, not for some reason, for a very specific reason, was that's when the movies would roll out. Me and my aunt and uncle. My aunt and uncle would take... My mom and dad didn't really have interest in these movies, but my aunt and uncle read the books and really loved them and insisted on taking me. And it became a lifelong passion. They are my favorite movies, maybe my favorite thing. I think it's an honor to exist in the same time as this world unfolded. It's beautiful. Final Cry, that's the rare. If a skirmish that involved the Balrog bearing Whip of Many Thongs is about to end, wound a companion in that skirmish twice. Huh, okay. Never seen that pop up in a game. Oh my god. What is this? That's a nice foil card. Sir Ian McKellen. Common, place to your support area the twilight cost of each possession or artifact played on Gandalf, or a character who has the Gandalf signet, which is signets are down the bottom corner. This Pippin has an Aragorn signet. Let's sleeve that up. That's great. Of course we got Goblin Man. Some print lines in here. Foul Tentacle, Hand Axe, Psyduck, Holland, Goblin Man. Okay. So that's our 6th foil, and I'm not expecting another one unless having a double foil in one pack doesn't kind of count to that 4 to 6 rule. There's only 3 packs left. Thanks for sticking with me. This is so much longer of a video than I anticipated. But I hope someone finds some value in it. I certainly enjoyed watching people open packs when I first kind of rediscovered this collection. Oh, let's see what... I didn't even look at those. Those were the last 3 underneath the foil. I got excited by the foil. Forgot there was 3 other cards in the pack. That's alright. Wielder of the Flame. Flee with Fear. There's a nice Sanctuary. It's kind of a double Sanctuary because if you have Hobbits, they get a free heal that doesn't count towards that 5. That's a good card. There's our rare. That's a way to defend your Nazgul. Goblin Reinforcements. Sentinels of Numenor. No business but ours, or of ours. I don't remember if we've pulled any of the big dogs yet, like Aragorn, Legolas, Gimli. Gandalf really, waited for Boromir to be snoozing, pulled Aragorn, Legolas, and Gimli around the fire and said, hey, listen, you three are the big dogs. And they lived up to, that expectation. They did what they said they were going to do. Don't want to spoil the movie, but it was a happy ending, Thank God. I mean, some of the times I'm playing Gemp, and it's like your job in the game is to, act out the movie, really. And sometimes a game ends in such a dark, dark way where, like, Frodo watches all his friends die and then becomes corrupt. And I'm just thinking, damn, if that was the movie, I don't think this would have been as popular. There's our rare. It's a hobbit tale. Bearer must be Bilbo. Bilbo may not take wounds except during the archery phase. Fellowship or regroup. Exert Bilbo or discard this condition to move one. So that's got some functionality for a hobbit choke deck with Bilbo in it. So many Pippins. No complaints. Love that guy. But so many. Speak, friend, and enter. Okay. Wow. Hour and 33 minutes, and we just got to our last pack. Let's see if we can get some last pack magic. And then I'll show you, give you a quick recap of the rares and the foils, and then we will all do something else. So there's the rare on the last pack. Verily I come? What the hell does that mean? To play, exert a Moria, or not a Moria, a Sauron Mork, a Mordor Orc, that's the word. To play, exert a Mordor Orc, plays on the Ringbearer. That's always annoying. Each time the free play people's player draws a card or takes a card into hand during the fellowship phase, add a burden. That's, wow. That is an emergency if someone lays that on your Frodo. If you don't have the support cards to get rid of conditions, you can't take that off him. So if you didn't have, depending on what stage of the game you were in, and if you didn't have the tools needed to get rid of this card, you're going to have to just sacrifice Frodo without putting the ring on, let him die, and then give the ring to Sam and try to run to the finish. That is a nasty, nasty card. And that is the box, everybody. Thanks for sticking around. That is a hell of a stack of cards. Let's do a quick recap of all our rares and all our foils. So this is just awesome. Dwarf condition. We got Gandalf's Friend, Water in the Watcher, Balrog's Sword. So you'll stack that on him. Tower Assassin, the Nazgul event, the Archer Commander, Wraith World, Dwarf Stuff, Flaming Brand, Fearing the Worry, Cave Trolls Chain, Big Bad Bill Ferny. Watch for the HBO Limited series about this swarthy, sneering fellow coming soon. The whip to go with the swords, so we got him all stanced up. And he's now 20 attack, so that's hard to defend again. That forces some tough choices, which the game is really all about choices, obviously. Gandalf's Staff. Mithril Coat. Gloin, Gimli's dad. Huge Tentacle. Lurtz's Sword. Shield of Boromir. We got the. I put that one in a sleeve because I got so excited about it, and then the very next pack we pulled the foil version. So those are all the rares. I'm just going to get them out of the way here. And then remind you what we did in the foil department. Because there's some cool stuff here. We got the foil hand axe. Shield of Boromir. Really nice card. Gandalf's Wisdom. Flee in Terror. Southern Spies. And Dark Fire. I think that, I mean, these are the big dogs here. Yeah. A common. The hand axe, that's a great common foil. Shield of Boromir, that's the great rare foil. And Darkfire, that's the great uncommon foil. They all just have such cool artwork. And there we go. Combined with this and all the other great rares we got and the 3 other foils, I'm really happy with this box. I thought that was great. I am going to sort through all of this, put it in this binder, and see what I'm missing from the set. And then I'll probably just pick away, finding some, fresh pull singles, or maybe buy another box. And yeah, if this video is interesting to anybody, I guess, I don't know that I'll do this again. We'll see how it goes, but, give me a follow. Never thought I'd say that, but why not? Love this game. I'm so happy to have discovered this great online community that keeps this game alive. And I look forward to playing you on Gemp. Thanks for watching.